Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? You call me Rudo. I am a woman who is currently struggling here in South Africa. I am working as a maid, and what hurts me the most is that whenever I hear the stories of these people that have done rituals and the people that still wish to do these rituals, they do not even know that I, as a granddaughter of a man who used to be a very powerful traditional healer, he has since passed away, they do not know that I live with a pain that I cannot explain. I went to university. I graduated, by the way, but I am working as a maid here in South Africa. Some of the people that I went with to university, they do have nice jobs, but I can't get a job because of what my grandfather used to do. He had deals that he made with the devil. Now we are all cursed as a generation, and we cannot escape those demons. And this is what happens whenever you visit a traditional healer. So in your mind, you'll think that this traditional healer is just powerful, but what you do not know is that this traditional healer, he also needs to have a deal with the demons, or what you call these tokologies. They are just demons to me. So he makes deals with those demons of his, and he will sacrifice his bloodline so that he can become powerful. My grandfather was a very powerful traditional healer. To some, he was like a savior, but to us, he was a man who destroyed our lives. To us, he is just a man who brought demons into the family, who did deals with the devil, and who cursed his own bloodline. And it is very painful knowing that there is a curse that follows our bloodline. As for me, there is a man who died during the wars of liberation for independence. That man was a soldier, and he was killed, and he was raised up by my grandfather as a tokology. And then that was when my grandfather told the spirit of that man who had been killed during the wars of liberation that he was going to give to him one among his granddaughters. And I was unfortunate that it was I that was chosen to become the spiritual wife to that man that had been killed in the war. This man, he comes to me whenever I start to date a man. The man will come to me and tell me that I do belong to him, and I belong to him only, and there is no one who is supposed to be my husband. I am not married. I do not have a child, and I am 28, not because I do not want to have a child, but simply because there were rituals that were done, and there is nothing that I can do about it. My grandfather, he owned a shrine at his homestead in Rusape. People used to come from Zambia, Malawi, South Africa to consult with him. Some of them, they would be given the tokologies. They would return back to their countries, and after messing up the rituals, they would return back to my grandfather. There were those that came for healing. Do you know that sometimes you can go to a traditional healer for healing, even if you want to bring back your lost lover, but you end up being given a tokology? Because my grandfather, he used to make a lot of these tokologies. He used to keep these tokologies inside many clay pots, and these tokologies, they used to eat food like no man's business. So it will happen that when someone who is unsuspecting will come to his shrine, maybe they just have a simple headache, and then my grandfather will give that person a charm, and after giving you that charm, then you'll start to experience bad luck and other spiritual encounters, because my grandfather would have given you a tokology without you even realizing that this was what had happened. Many of these people that came to do the rituals at his homestead, they were those that wanted to do money rituals. They would come with money, and my grandfather never turned anyone away. Growing up, we used to have a lot of strange spiritual encounters. When my grandfather passed away, that was when we started to experience a lot of bad luck. There was even one minister who came and he gave us 40 cows. He had been assisted by my grandfather when he was still alive. Whilst we were having a family meeting, that was when we had these topologies. They were speaking, they were in the trees as they were talking to us, and they said that if we did not want to accept them, they were going to take away all of the wealth that they had brought with them into the family. And indeed they did so. All the cattle that we had been given by that minister who used to work with our grandfather, they all died one by one. It was as if there were some creatures that would come late at night and they would bite these cattle and they will start to suck their blood. In the morning, you'll just see that the cows, they would have died. This is what happened. As for my mother, she was cursed by my own grandfather. She was mentally unstable. She used to talk to herself, saying that she wanted to cook for these topologies. She used to cook pap inside a very big drum in the middle of the night, and she would finish that pap, showing that she was being possessed by the devil. We suffer for something that we can't even fix. I can't get married. My brothers, they do suffer as well. And in our family, there is a problem whereby if you start to experience a lot of bad luck and you think that you are not going to make it, you can even commit suicide. Like my father's elder brother, he committed suicide. Even one of my cousin brother who went to Europe, there was no reason for him to kill himself. But all of a sudden, after having a small argument with his wife, that was when he took a rope and he hanged himself from the ceiling. This is how much traumatized his wife was. When we asked her, our brother, he climbed into the ceiling, and after climbing into the ceiling, he then tied the rope to a wooden beam, and then he jumped down, breaking the ceiling, and they found him dead. The kids were traumatized. Even his wife was quite traumatized. We moved from Rusape and we started staying in the city in Mutare, but still our family is suffering. To those who want to do money making rituals in the future, what you need to know is that you cannot eat on the same table, share from the same plate with a demon, and then you expect that your family is not going to suffer. When you share the same plate with a demon, what you need to know is that you are the only one that is going to fill your stomach. But as for your family, they are going to suffer from many bloodline curses. That is what is happening to us as a family. What hurts me the most is that people, they still praise my grandfather. They say that he was very powerful. He helped a lot of people. He helped me to get rich. He made our business to grow. But no one even asked what happened to his kids, what happened to his grandchildren. No one ever sees the children he left behind as we are crying in the dark, being haunted by the very spirits, the devils that he made deals with. I have no peace. My relationships, they do not last. I hear footsteps when I am alone. Sometimes when I am alone, I can see shadows that will be moving around me. Prophets say that my grandfather had a debt that he did not finish paying the devil. That is why we are still suffering as a family. My grandfather was a powerful witch doctor. So this is my own testimony. Take it from someone who grew up in that environment where we used to have spiritual encounters almost each and every day. There is nothing good that will come out of money making rituals. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. That was a short narration of the message that she sent to me. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Is your father, mother, grandfather or grandmother a traditional healer? Do you experience other things that you do not understand? You can come to my inbox.